Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. This team I have here, Vigoroth Double Dragon. I have to give a shout out to Chillis FM, a fellow content creator. I saw him post this team on Twitter and I thought it looked pretty fun and I'd give it a shot. I'm not sure if he was running Gunk Shot himself or Outrage on Dragalge, but we went with Gunk Shot so that way we could utilize it as a safe swap and potentially surprise some fairy type Pokemon. But here we go. I had a lot of fun with this team. You want to usually swap out at some point into one of your dragons to lure out the anti-dragon counter, whether that's like an ice type or maybe a fairy type. But here we go into this first one. We saw Vigoroth into a Steelix lead. Favorable matchup for Vig, of course, but a little bit awkward. And this swap was actually very awkward for the team. So I think Poliwrath is a bit of an issue. I go for the Brick Break here, which may be a misplay, but the reason I did so was if he shielded, then my next Dragon Tail should knock out. So I did that as a caution, but he lets it go, and now you're going to see, because I did that, I don't reach another Brick Break. That's pretty brutal. And here we go. We have a terrific matchup in the back, so I'm hoping maybe there's some play still. But unfortunately, it has Aerial Ace. It's not running the Leaf Tornado variant, so Aerial Ace will actually hit for some neutral damage. And now I'm thinking, how the heck am I going to win this game? Aerial Ace connects. I am going to go for this Aqua Tail bait since I have so much energy. It seems kind of crazy to Gunk Shot through two shields here, but he calls it, saying, I dare you to throw an Outrage or a Gunk Shot when I'm this low. I go for the back-to-back Aqua Tail. The opponent lets it go through, and then I go for an Aqua Tail here, and then this super catches me off guard. I just think this is an instant shield, but the opponent lets it go. They take the Aqua Tail. And now I'm like, I wonder if I have a chance. I throw the Body Slam here, and I immediately regret throwing this Body Slam because I'm thinking at this point, I'm probably not going to get to 3 Body Slams. I just want to go straight for counter damage. My opponent lets in a free counter here, and he's going to go for the Breaking Slam. I'm thinking, wait a second, maybe I have a chance still? Maybe I have a chance still? As we get another counter sneak through. But unfortunately, this is the Earthquake, and Dragalge is going to get Dragon Tail down. So if I hadn't thrown that Body Slam, I might have been able to get a tie there in the end game. So unfortunate. But at the same time, I guess our opponent did throw an alignment. So maybe if he doesn't do that, it doesn't matter anyway. We start off with an L, but I felt like this team is fun. So we're going to keep on trucking. And we actually go on a very nice run with this team, as you'll see. So Vigoroth into a Mandibuzz lead. Positive matchup for Vig, especially with Body Slam. This was already like a decent matchup for Vig. And then they swap Lantern. And honestly, this is a miss swap by me. Like, Hakamo would just be way better here because of the neutral hitting Dragon Tail. This is kind of awkward for Dragalge because especially since I'm running Gunk Shot. Just like, it's a lot of energy to use a move that's going to threaten this Lantern, as the Aqua Tail is not going to do much at all. Going for an Aqua Tail here. Honestly, maybe should have just gone straight for the Gunk. Because as we saw with the last opponent, right? Like, they're not really inclined to shield. Or, yeah, they're not inclined to shield. And Lantern lives with 1 HP. How brutal is that? So Lantern is legit going to flip the 0 shields here, which is kind of embarrassing. But I'm like, I don't think it's worth a shield. So I come in with Vig, I counter down, and Mandy comes back, which surprises me. But I'll take it. This is where I would much rather see the Mandibuzz. We land the Rock Slide. It's very good for us. Opponent throws on alignment, and I am going to respect a potential Dark Pulse. It's just an Aerial Ace, though. I'm going to overfarm here quite a bit. Going for the Body Slam. This should knock out from this range. He lets it go. What's in the back? It's a Skeledirge, and this is a little scary. This is a little scary because this thing has Disarming Voice, which would one-shot our Hakamo with its double super effective damage. He is going to throw after 2, so he throws right away. I commit my shield because I know I can build up here where he has to throw this instantly. If he doesn't throw this instantly, I'm going to get to a move. And he makes a mistake, doesn't throw right away. He lost track of my energy, so I get off the Dragon Claw, and this is going to put it really low. 1 HP, now he has got no choice but to throw, but he's still 1 Incinerate away from back-to-back Disarming Voice, so we're in a good spot. If our opponent had thrown right away, I think he might have won that game. So a bit unfortunate for him. And we're going to have to clear some bag space. Our bag is full, apparently. Also, if you guys stick around to the end of this video, the very last battle of this video is pretty insane, I gotta say. So a bit of a teaser there. The very final battle. Gonna go for a Rock Slide here against Skelly. Rock Slide grabs a shield. We're gonna swap into Dragalge. Bit of a better matchup here because Disarming Voice only hits for neutral damage because of that poison subtyping. So we eat the Shadow Ball, and he's got back-to-back. I will invest the shield because now he's completely energy dry, so I can overfarm a little bit here. Gonna do 3 Dragon Tails and throw Aqua Tail for proper timing. Now I've got back-to-back, so even if he was to shield, I could just throw my second Aqua Tail. He understands that, lets it go. I don't know why I'm not just instant clicking Aqua Tail at this point. Like, I'm so low. Rise, what are you doing? Rise, what are you doing? See, Rise, what are you doing, bro? Dude, the comments, Rise. They're like, who the heck is this battler? Over-farming for no reason. And now we're in a little bit of an awkward spot. A little bit of an awkward spot because Serp has the Aerial Ace, as you see. Super effective damage against our Hakamo. He does allow a Dragon Tail sneak, which is nice for us. Aerial Ace does draw our final shield. We're over-farming. He swaps back into the Gator. This is really awkward seeming for me. I think Superior is 2 away from Aerial Ace, if I remember correctly. Dragon Claw coming through, grabbing the final shield. I should live a Hydro Cannon here. I should live a Hydro Cannon, but it's going to put me quite low. And here you're going to see me actually elect to not throw the Body Slam. The reason I'm doing this, sorry, I had a bit of a technical issue there. We are going to actually let the Feraligatr throw first, because if we were to throw our Body Slam, the Superior would simply just farm us down and win the game. I get a little impatient here throwing my Dragon Claw right away, but I could have done 1 in throw here. Now Superior lives, it's 1 away, and we get the Dragon Tail off first. Good game that was. And it's on to the next one. Yeah, shout out to Chillis FM for the team idea. I'll leave his channel in the description. And we see another Mandibuzz lead here. This is where we want to see it. Mandibuzz just kind of outbulks the Dragalge and has that super effective Aerial Ace coverage for the Hakamo. So Vigoroth is our best matchup. I like miss tap here for some. I like miss over tap or something. So I actually let a free confusion go through. That's pretty embarrassing. I was joking on stream, like we're playing at like 20% of how we're capable in some of these battles. But Thunder Punch connects. I'm going to do 1 and throw this way. I can go back-to-back Body Slam. I can actually do 1 counter again, I should say, and then throw Body Slam. I'm kind of hoping he lets this go through because both of my back Pokemon take super effective to these confusions, so we do not want to eat confusion damage on our back line. Going to come in with Hakamo here. Going for the Dragon Tail down. He did build up a little past the punch, so I was a little worried it could be like a Shadow Ball, but it was just a Thunder Punch, so a bit of a wasted shield there. That's all right. We are going to build up and then catch the Aerial Ace onto our Dragalge. This will be a lot less efficient against the Dragalge. He is going to store an Aerial Ace and then go into Basti, but this is looking okay for me because these super effective Aqua Tails will slowly add up over time. Hopefully I can get to 3 of them. Honestly, if he had gone straight Basti, I think that would have been worse for me because I probably only get to 2 Aqua Tails. But now you're going to see I've already gotten to my second Aqua Tail, and I'm going to threaten to get to a 3rd here. And I actually make a decision to not throw it right away. So a bit of a mistake, but I wanted to like lure my opponent into throwing energy. What I didn't want to happen was him completely farm me down. So now I'm able to double up on Brick Break. I'm still not quite in Aerial Ace range from the Mandibuzz, and I have a lot of loaded energy, so I'm feeling pretty good here. I decide to go for the Claw because it hits harder than the Brick Break. So I've just felt like it was the safer play. Claw connects. Mandy's getting kind of low, and we're just going to commit to fast moves, and there's the win. There's no reason for us to throw energy, right, unless we get to 2 Claws. Unless you want to argue Brick Break, like right away, to debuff them, but I think we made the right call there. And we're able to deliver the win. He probably got knocked out right as he reached double Aerial Ace, so very close game. Vigoroth into Vigoroth. Exciting stuff. And I'm actually going to swap Dragalge instantly, just because with this team, right, your double dragon in the back, you kind of have to lure out the anti-dragon if it's there. No messing around, just going straight for Aqua Tail. Create a delay in the switch timer is kind of nice. And let's see what the opponent does here. They're going to fire off a Body Slam. They're staying in, so they don't seem to have an obvious Dragalge answer. I'm going to shield, because if they stay in, I can farm this down in 2 Dragon Tails. So I commit a shield. I get the farm down. Let's see what comes in to greet. Oh my gosh, they are weak to Dragalge. Should have thrown after 1, but I kind of wanted to act like I was going for an outrage here. And now we're just going to do 1 and throw. We're just going to stay in, try and chip this as much as we can, because Hakamo really walls the energy from this Charge Bug, so I'm perfectly fine. He comes in with Gligar. I swap Vig, understanding that this is my best remaining answer for the Gligar, but this Gligar is a little bit scary right now. First Body Slam grabs a shield. I really need my next Body Slam to connect. If it doesn't connect, that could leave us in a vulnerable position. He's going to throw right here. I need to hope that we can live this Aerial Ace. I can't afford to use this shield. And look at that, Vigoroth hangs on with a sliver of health. Our very high-ranked Vigoroth able to live. And now this is going to set us up nicely because we have 1 shield remaining. He doesn't even reach the Aerial Ace, and that is a G to the G. That was looking kind of scary from that perspective, but able to get it done. Showing off the IVs of the Vig. And, oh, I just got exposed. I just exposed myself. Because sometimes if there's Pokemon I plan on using in certain regional tournaments and stuff, I do like slightly alter the IVs on the graphics. I have mentioned that before. Because, I don't know, obviously, for some of you's perspective, that might be a little bit annoying, but I don't know. It'd be super easy, right? Let's say I'm playing in the finals of a tournament for somebody to simply look up on my channel the IVs of my Pokemon and then know that they win CMP or lose CMP based off of that. So if there's common Pokemon, I believe, so for example, in this team, Hakamo and Dragalge are accurate with those IVs. And the Vigoroth is like slightly different there. So just letting you know there. Because I have had one player that beat me in a tournament before tell me that they looked up my team. And this was before like play Pokemon stuff. This was like back in a more it wasn't Sylph, but it was more like a fun tournament, so not as big of a deal. More like a fun style tournament before kind of the play Pokemon days. But I had a player tell me he was like looking up my Pokemon's IVs on my channel so he could like plug them into his PvPoke matrix and see how that affected things. So I'm not super crazy, I think, for doing that. And here we go. Hakamo into Superior. They are not running. Oh, they actually are running Aerial Ace. Dude, I've seen multiple Superiors running Leaf Tornado Aerial Ace. What is up with that? That's a crazy move set. We connect with the Claw. We get the farm down to retain switch advantage. And this little Furfrou in back, it does have super effective sand attacks, but unfortunately, with 2 shields still remaining, we should be chilling here. And Furfrou typically running Surf and Grass Knot, not going to threaten us as well with its charge attacks. Dragalge just going to simply shield up this Surf. Dragon Tail down. The Llama. Is Furfrou a llama? I'm not even sure. On to the next one, bro. 4-0 in this set. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Elder Rich Kid is the name of the next opponent. Wiggly. So we saw a few Wigglies with this team, and this is where we need to see the Wiggly is in the lead. If not, hopefully lure it out with the Dragalge. But this is the best position for us to be in, to see the Wiggly in the lead. Because Vigoroth does quite well in this matchup, in my opinion. Just because you so significantly outpace the Wigglytuff, and these body slams really add up quickly. Quickly against Wiggly, that kind of rhymes. I'm looking at the health here. I'm like, can I counter this Wigglytuff down? Is that possible? And I decide, yeah, it looks like I cannot. So I throw after 4. Body Slam would, of course, knock out from this little health range. And we take switch advantage. There's a Feraligatr. Little bit awkward for us here because Feraligatr does have access to Ice Beam, but he allows me to get a free Dragon Tail Sneak. That's quite nice. He baits me with the Hydro Cannon. I'm going to throw after 1. So he should be, let's see, he's at 4, so he should be 3 off. Oh, I remember this now. I make a catch here onto the Ice Beam, but as you're going to see, this actually does me a disservice because it's a Lantern in back. So on paper, it kind of makes sense, right? Because Kamo's even better, or Hakamo, sorry. Hakamo's even better here, but this Lantern now gets that spark down to give it a head start. We've already been chipped from the Shadow Claw damage with our Hakamo. Thunderbolt connects, puts us awfully low. I'm forced to throw right here, right before he reaches the Surf. And I think we're just a little bit too low against the Feraligatr. It lives 1 Dragon Tail, and a tough loss there against the opposition. If I had simply just let my Hakamo get Ice Beamed and then closed with Dragalge, we would have won the game. So a bit of a throw there, but it happens from time to time. Just made the wrong decision there. If I just let my Hakamo go down, I could have had a full health Dragalge and gunk shot the Lantern and won the game. Here we go. Vig into G-Fisk. He safe swaps Trev, and I get the catch here onto Hakamo Rise. Why not catch it double resisted onto your Dragalge? Well, I think one reason is because Hakamo has more play against the Stunfisk. So this way, if I can beat this Trev as we shield the Shadow Ball, we can have more play against the Galarian Stunfisk once we come out of this matchup. So that's something to think about sometimes. He actually comes in with a Noctowl. And notice how we're throwing after 1 Dragon Tail here each time. This is going to maximize our energy by throwing on proper timing. If I didn't throw on proper timing, I would not have been able to get off 3 Dragon Claws here. 2nd Dragon Claw, 3rd Dragon Claw. If I was throwing right away, I'd be letting a free wing attack through and not getting off 3 Dragon Claws there. We come in Dragalge. I think I make a little bit of a mistake here by staying in to get off this Aqua Tail. I think I rather would have just gone straight Vig and started getting off my counter damage sooner. But I do that. He lets it go through, which is also a bit of a mistake. So I think both of us kind of made a mistake there. Because the Aqua Tail is going to hit harder than anything my Vigoroth can throw, right? So a bit of a mistake from both sides. He baits me with the Rock Slide, which is great for us. We get off the Body Slam, and now I think we're in a great position. I think we're in a great position here. Vig connects on the Body Slam. Move coming through from Galarian Stunfisk. Just the Rock Slide. And Noctowl pivots in. We're just going to let this go at this point. I feel like our Dragalge with a shield can just Dragon Tail down everything. And we should be in a great spot. Noctowl going to top left. And the opponent never used any shields. Sometimes there are games where like you don't really have an opportunity to use your shields. That game, I think they could have used a shield at some point. Maybe like a Claw against Noctowl would have been big. Or the Aqua Tail, especially against the G-Fisk, could have flipped that game in our opponent's favor. Guzzlord. And, oh, baby, this is looking good. Dragalge just completely walls this Venusaur. I was curious how much a Frenzy Plant does just because it's such a good move, but look at how little that does. Double resisted against the Dragon Poison typing, and our opponent's like, yeah, I ain't about this. And they're going to top left. That's pretty tough alignment. I was joking on the stream. That was such a good game. I need to make sure I DM them to let them know how good of a game that was. Just sarcastically. I would never do that. Vigoroth into Sandslash. They pivot into Gligar. Kind of awkward because we don't have a comfortable swap for this. And also, we kind of need our Vigoroth for the Slash. So, we got to be careful about how we manage this. What we don't want to happen is we pivot into a Dragon. And then they flip it. And then suddenly we have our other Dragon lined up against the Sandslash. So, what I decided to do here is throw on Charge Attack priority. We're going to see what our opponent decides to do. Understanding that they live, they are going to shield it. I want to preserve my Vigoroth, knowing it could be useful against that Sandslash, and then I pivot into Hakamo. This way, I get 2 Dragon Cells head start, and if Sandslash comes in, I can get off Brick Break before they can get off Ice Punch, which could be really nice. So here we go. 3 Dragon Tails to the Brick Break. Just going straight for it. Not going to bother baiting here. Brick Break. Boom! Dude, have you ever seen a Brick Break do that much damage? Holy cow. And I decided I'm going to shield because this way I can potentially debuff the final Pokemon while they're locked. And that's exactly what we're going to go for. It's his last Pokemon. He knows it's kind of squishy, so he's kind of forced to shield here. And we Brick Break it, and now all of a sudden, fast move damage is going to be extremely valuable here. He does have the Ice Punch, so it is going to knock us out, but he is debuffed, remember, so our Dragon Tails are really chunking away. Really chunking away. I think he reached the Shadow Ball here, and it connects, but it's not going to quite knock out. We pivot, and one counter knocks out the Sandslash for a nice little win there. That was a fun one. Shielding just so we could Brick Break and Annihilate. George King is the next opponent. I think we got like 3 more battles, and the last one is a really good one. Shiny Skarmory, very cool. This is where we want to see the Skarmory. We've said that a lot, so definitely a little bit fortunate with the leads because we're seeing some like core breakers for the back line that we're seeing in the lead, so definitely fortunate in that regard. There was one game. I did 5 whole sets with this team. I'm only showing you guys like 2 in an extra battle or 2. But there was one set where we just like stayed in 2 neutral matchups in the lead and the secondary matchup. Then there was a Wigglytuff against our Hakamo in the back, and that was pretty bad. So Aqua Tail knocks out the Surfetched. Opponent going to fire off a Sky Attack most likely. So we don't reach the Aqua Tail here. We have a little bit of energy on our Vigoroth. Going to come in. Going to overfarm. Actually, no. Going to throw right away for the Charge Attack priority. Because Skarmory had residual energy. Rock Slide knocks it out. And there's a Median back. There's a Median back. He builds up to like 7 or 8 or so. And I'm like, oh man, I should respect it. And then it's a dang power-up punch. Really regretting that shield. If I didn't shield that, I think I would have been in a great spot. I go for the Brick Break bait to lower their defense. He throws on alignment, which is great for me. I respect it again, but it's another power-up punch, bro. And I go for the Claw here, and I think this is a critical error. I think if I had gone for the Brick Break here, it would have been a much smarter play because these 2 Dragon Tails would have done even more. It would have been lower. And now all of a sudden he gets off a move. Vigoroth is really low as well. Medi's so boosted, and it even gets to the power-up punch, but I think it would have fast moved us down anyway. Or maybe it would have been a tie. So definitely a misplay by me not to go for the Brick Break again in the end game. Yeah, definitely one I probably should have had there if I played better. I'm sure a lot of you guys would have been able to flip that one in the end game. Mistake by me, but it happens. Vigoroth into Wigglytuff. Once again, this is where we love to see Wigglytuff avoiding our back line of Double Dragon. Even though Dragalge has Gunk Shot, right? It takes quite a while to get to Gunk Shot, so I would definitely not consider that a favorable matchup for Dragalge by any means. And we're going to go for another Body Slam here. Connects onto Wiggles. He throws on alignment. So I think this is the one where I'm like, you know what? He threw on alignment. Maybe this allows me to counter down. Let's see. We're going for a potential counter down. We live with 1 HP. I'm just going to throw Blind Rock Slide since I'm at 1 HP. And luckily it's a Lantern, so Rock Slide was the slightly better move here. We can align up our Hakamo here. In comes Dugong. So an important situation, right? It sounds simple, but we got to make sure it's not a they swap, I panic swap type situation. We have to stay in here because this way we have these threatening Brick Breaks for the Dugong. And what I'm thinking here is after I connect on this Brick Break, like how do I want to play out the end game? So I'm going to see how much this does first. He's debuffed defense-wise. I'm debuffed attack-wise, so it hits as it normally would. I like to just let him Icy Wind me here because this way I'm hoping I can farm down. And remember, now we're on a non-debuffed Dragalge and he's double debuffed. So we get the full Dragon Tail down. We get a little bit of a head start against this Lantern who has energy. And we should be in a good spot here. I'm going to commit to the Gunk Shot, of course. No reason to ever settle for Aqua Tail here. Gunk Shot coming through. Gunk Shot. 1 shot. Technically not really a 1 shot because, I mean, the Lantern had been chipped so much. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And There we go. Nice set there. And one bonus battle for you. I'll skip ahead a little bit. Monsieur Bluet. That was a horrific French accent. I cannot do a French accent. Vigoroth into Talonflame. I'm going to pivot immediately into a Dragon since I resist the fire damage. We are met by a Trev. Not the best, not the worst. I decide to respect a Shadow Ball. He baits me like an absolute savage with Seed Bomb. What a monster. I'm at the double Aqua Tail, so I just throw here on alignment, which is questionable, but this is going to allow me to throw back to back. So if Trev wants to stick around, it's going to have to use a shield. We're still at a comfortable health where Talonflame cannot really farm us down comfortably without eating a lot of dragon damage. So Talonflame is going to be forced to throw energy. And here I'm thinking, you know, I might live a Flame Charge. He needs to fly me to knock me out. I do live the Flame Charge. I can do 1 and throw to get off this Aqua Tail. 3-turn move versus 5-turn move. Aqua Tail will likely grab the shield. And I come in with Hakamo for the more oppressive fast move damage here. He throws a move. I'm going to respect a potential Fly or even a Brave Bird maybe. And look at this. It is a Brave Bird. That's actually big for us. In comes Annihilate. I feel like throwing a Brick Break would be too risky here. I'm just going straight for the consistent Dragon Claw damage. He does shield it. And he's firing off a move, but hopefully I can live in Ice Punch here. This Annihilate awfully scary for our Vigoroth. One of the hardest Vigoroth counters. I get off the Dragon Claw. This is massive. This is going to chip away at the Annihilate. In comes Vig. And Annihilate doesn't have a super threatening charge move here. It's really just the counter damage that's threatening us. So we're going to try and overfarm a little bit. So maybe we can reach a Body Slam against the Talonflame. I wait a turn to avoid a potential catch. Rock Slide should be enough from this range despite being resisted, but we're so low. He's also really low, and the 4th counter KOs. 8 turns versus 10 turns. Our move registers first. Oh, and I switched my camera view because I was pumped after that win. I was like half jokingly doing that, but I was like, let's go, baby. And then I like mean mugged like Giannis, my favorite basketball player. But that is the video, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. And one more shout out to Chillis FM for the team that he created. So all that said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.